It was a battle between two prodigies at the Reykjavik Open. With the white pieces, we had 2005 born Praggnanandhaa. With the black pieces, we had 2009 born Abhimanyu Mishra. Praggnanandhaa at some point held the record for the youngest IM in the world, which he achieved at the age of 10 years and 10 months. And then Abhimanyu comes and breaks it. He also went on to break the world's youngest GM record. That's what Abhimanyu did. And he is one of the most upcoming chess players in the world. We all know how good Praggnanandhaa is. So this promised to be a mouth-watering, sizzling encounter. And it lived up to it, because I think the main part is that moment in the opening where Pragg made some choices. So I'm going to focus on that, and then we can see how the game panned out. So it was a Slav defense: knight f3, knight f6, e3, e6. Generally, white goes knight c3 now. But Pragg had a strategy in this game. He was like, this knight I'm not going to develop soon. He went bishop d3. And after takes, he took knight bd7, castles, bishop d6, and he played his queen to c2. So Abhimanyu was waiting for Praggnanandhaa to put his knight on c3, and then it would have transposed to the main lines where thousands of games have been played. But with queen c2, Pragg is like, I can get e4 without putting my knight on c3, and it has its advantages. What are those? We can see it in the game of Duda, Grishchuk versus Duda. Bishop e3, by the way, is a nice move here, because if you take, I can take with the bishop. In Grishchuk versus Duda, the game continued queen c7, h3, takes, bishop takes, h6, and now you will see the advantage of not developing the knight to c3 was knight bd2. Rook e8, rook e1, knight e5, and now take, 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 queen takes, knight jumps to f3, pawn to e5, and the initiative was firmly in white's grasp. So that's the reason why Abhimanyu here did not play queen c7. He went for the move knight to g4. Hassling that bishop, Praggnanandhaa doesn't want to give it, so he goes bishop to g5, attacking the queen. f6 not possible because there's this bishop sitting here. So queen went to c7, h3 was played, and now h6, pushing this bishop back, asking it where does it want to go. If you reach this position, hg, knight takes g5, then black is doing pretty okay, because although he's a pawn down, he has the bishop pair over here, and after say something like queen d8, black is doing very well. Takes, knight takes d4, knight e5, bishop is attacked, pawn is attacked, queen is ready to come in, and this could get very nasty. So Pragg said, okay, fine, let's not get into all this. I'll put my bishop on h4. Abhimanyu went back, and now could be possible to play knight bd2 here, but Pragg decided to play knight c3. Knight to h5, looking at the f4 square here, and rook a d1. Here, Abhimanyu took on d4. Natural choice was to take with the knight, because the knight is well positioned, knight f5 could be possible, and if the most natural move knight e5 is played, then after bishop b3, white is doing very well in this position. But it was natural for Pragg to feel a little bit of tension here, because after g5, he would have thought, where does my bishop go? Because if I play bishop g3, he will simply take and take this pawn. But that's not the case, because here there are too many weaknesses. I'm sure Pragg understood that. You just take, and queen b3 check. The game is actually over. King g7, there is knight e6, king f8, also knight e6, king e7, there is queen e6. It's a massive attack. But why did he decide to take with the rook? I think he might have some idea in his mind. Of course, to g5 now, it's clear that this does not work, because I take bishop g5, pawn takes, and here comes a very strong move, e5. The point being that if you take here, I take with my knight, threatening a mate, and the rook swings over to h4. So Pragg had this point in mind, but Abhimanyu said, my idea was always to play knight e5. Now your rook is slightly exposed, because if you take, I will take back, hitting your rook, and if you go back, I can play b5, bishop, let's say, to b3, and the knight can jump into f4. Black has got everything that he could have hoped for with good control on the dark squares. Even if you play bishop e2, there is knight f4. Black is better. So that's the reason why Pragg had to be very careful here. It's a strategically very double-edged position. So Pragg said, I'm going queen d1. And his point was, I'm attacking your bishop. And also, I want to take on e5 and maybe look at the knight on h5. Here, a safe choice for Abhimanyu would have been bishop to c5. But there was something that I'm sure he did not like about it. I don't know what exactly, but take, rook d2. And let's say there are many ways that black can continue here. One is bishop e6. The other one also possible is this tactical move knight g3 because of the pin here. And black is doing fine. But look at this move. Abhimanyu took on c4. What could be more natural than this? And Pragg took back, and believe it or not, guys, this position is lost for black. Lost. And I think Abhimanyu just made this mistake in assessment. The first threat that you notice is knight b5 is threatened, where you have a fork coming up. Notice that rook d8 is impossible because the bishop is looking at that square. So let's say, for the sake of an argument, you play queen b8. Okay, you just have to make this slightly ugly move, but then you have bishop e6 coming next. Slowly you will get your knight in. Everything will be fine. What should white do here? You have to see that this is the moment. You have to strike now. e5 is the move. Beautiful move. If you first move bishop e6, I can even take, and you will notice that this d pawn is super strong. Rook e1 with the idea of d7. White is better. I can even move the rook away. Let's say I go rook e4. Even this position is better for white. So you take the pawn, right? I mean, what else? If you go bishop c7, I go rook e1, and now this position is very, very passive, because once you have these two pieces blocked in, my rook can swing over and my bishop is well positioned. The queen can move in. It's a great position for white. So you must take. Once you take, I take, you take. And now comes an important move, rook e1. Now, black has to be careful, because if he moves his queen anywhere, then the knight will hang. So actually there are very few squares. If you go queen a5, then I already can think about b4. And if you go queen a6, then rook d4, saving my rook, threatening here. Knight does not have a good square to go to, because knight f6 I'll take. So queen f5 is the most natural move. And here's my question to you. What should white play here? Bishop e7. Beautiful move, attacking the rook. If you play bishop e6, or if you play rook e8, the answer is the same. White to play. What do you do here? Rook to c5, and I win your knight here attacking this. That was just brutal tactics in the position. So this knight b5 idea combined with this e5 idea renders black's position completely lost. Let's say bishop e5, another possibility. Now I have knight d5. I attack your queen. You can't take. Rook takes c7. You have two moves. If you go queen b8, I go knight e7 check, king h8, and many ways, but rook c5 just looks powerful, attacking here and here. It's also very, very difficult to defend. If f6, there is knight g6 check, and game over. And if queen d6, I already have bishop e7 winning. So unfortunately at this point, Abhimanyu had to play bishop e6. Then came knight b5. Bishop takes, knight takes. Bishop takes, queen d7. And Praggnanandhaa actually converted this game without too many difficulties. Yes, his technique could have been better, but he was never really in danger. And in the end, we did reach a position which was something like this, where Pragg was facing this rook and pawn. I think Pragg could have even taken here and gone over here. This is not a fortress because you have f4, f5 break, and white is winning here. But Pragg was very careful. He made sure that he not only wins the piece but also gets a pawn here. He brought his king over, check, check, and he won this. And he went on to win this game. With this, Praggnanandhaa is half a point behind the leader in the tournament. This is his performance here. He drew with Marina Brunello in second round, then drew with Hayden Steingrimson, and now drew with Mads Andersen in round 7. By the way, this game happened in round 6, and now he is one of the he's in number 2 position right now in this tournament, behind Max Warmerdam, and he has great chances of winning this tournament. Let's hope for the best, but this was a very nice game. I hope you enjoyed it. This is Sagar Shah signing off. Bye bye.